Have you ever wondered how we went from, basic steam engines to factories that can practically think for themselves? Well, it wasn't some sudden leap. It was more like a long, steady climb. In this explainer, we're going to trace that climb and figure out what's really powering the modern smart factory. So yeah, that's the big question, right? How did our factories get so smart? We're going to break it all down. It really boils down to three key things: the history that got us here, the data that fuels everything, and the core technology that makes it all work. To really get where we are now, you have to look back at how we got here. So let's take a quick trip back in time and see the major leaps that really set the stage for today's revolution. Okay, check this out. This chart is a fantastic way to see the big picture. On the bottom, you've got how complex the operations are, and on the side, you can see how customized the products we make can be. Each big industrial revolution is a huge step up and to the right, a climb toward making things in a much more sophisticated and personal way. So let's run through it real quick. Industry 1.0, that was all about steam power and mechanization. Then came 2.0, which gave us electricity and the assembly line, hello, mass production. And then Industry 3.0, that brought in computers, early automation, and connected the whole world. This built the foundation, but what came next? Well, it needed a whole new kind of fuel. And yeah, you guessed it, that new fuel is data. The jump from just automating stuff to creating true intelligence, that's not just about more gears or faster computers. It's about taking the insane amounts of data those computers produce and turning it into something genuinely useful. I love this image because it shows you exactly what I'm talking about. You start at the bottom with just raw data, numbers, signals, whatever. But as you climb this ladder and start analyzing it in more complex ways, the value you get out of it just skyrockets. It proves it's not about just having the data. It's about what you do with it. So how do we actually climb that ladder? Well, it happens in 4 key steps. First, there's descriptive analytics. That just tells you what happened. So a machine broke down. Okay. Next, diagnostic analytics tells you why did it happen? Maybe a part overheated. Then you get to the really cool stuff. Predictive analytics can tell you what will happen. And at the very top, prescriptive analytics tells us, okay, what should we do about it? See? Each step is a deeper level of insight. All right, so we've got the fuel, that's data. But every car needs an engine, right? So what's the engine here? The thing that actually uses that fuel to create intelligent action. It's something called a cyber-physical system, or CPS. And this is the real heart of the smart factory. So what is a cyber-physical system? Put simply, it's the bridge between the digital world of data and software and the physical world of actual machines. It lets software watch and control real-world things, like a robot on a factory floor, in this constant feedback loop. And that's what creates a truly smart, responsive environment. A great way to picture a CPS is like this 5-level pyramid. Down at the bottom, it's all about connection, just gathering data from sensors. But as you move up through the levels, conversion, cyber, and cognition, the whole system gets smarter and smarter. It starts to see patterns, make predictions, and finally, right at the top, it can make its own decisions. And here it is. Get ready for the aha moment. This is where it all clicks together, where the fuel meets the engine. Just look at how the levels of that CPS pyramid line up perfectly with our analytics ladder. The connection level gives us descriptive analytics, telling us what happened. The cyber level gives us predictive analytics, what will happen. And at the very top, configuration gives us autonomous ability, basically asking, how can I improve myself? They're really just 2 sides of the same coin. And just like that, by putting it all together, we've made it to the top of our climb. When you take that powerful data fuel and you combine it with that intelligent CPS engine, well, that's when you get the 4th industrial revolution. Welcome to Industry 4.0. Let's go back to that first chart we saw, but look at it with fresh eyes now. See that top step, Industry 4.0? It's not just another layer of automation. No way. It's a whole new ballgame, defined by those cyber-physical systems, by truly intelligent automation, and the incredible ability to create products that are super individualized and even predictive. So what's the bottom line here? The big hallmarks of Industry 4.0 are these. It's all built on cyber-physical systems. It uses intelligent automation, not just the dumb, repetitive kind. It's totally integrated, both horizontally across the supply chain and vertically from the shop floor all the way up to the executive suite. And all of this leads to making things that are customized just for you. Look, If you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this right here. Industry 4.0 is where our digital and physical worlds finally truly merge. It's about creating systems that are self-aware, that are always learning, and that are making their own decisions, all powered by a nonstop river of data. And that leaves us with a pretty mind-bending question, doesn't it? We've reached this summit, the Smart Factory, where systems can literally improve themselves. So, what's next? What's the next great industrial mountain for us to climb? Now that is something to think about.